welcome to the fifth and final class in the Complete Beginners course. I really hope you've enjoyed the course so far, and if you haven't done the classes before, please go back and do those, otherwise you might be a little bit confused about what's going on in this class, and I do want you to build it up. So the theme of today's class is non-grasping, which is the final of the yamas. I've linked a podcast below that you might want to listen to if you want to learn a bit more about the philosophy side of yoga. I was hoping I would be able to put it into this course, but I just think that actually we have enough to get on with the physical poses, and listen to the podcast if you want a bit more about the philosophy. So let's get started. I want you to sit up lovely and tall. Relax the shoulders down. Imagine there's a piece of string on the back of your head and you're being lengthened up through the string. Make sure that you're really comfortable here. I don't teach with props because I don't know what you've got. So if you have props and you want to use them, if you want to use cushions, anything like that, just feel free to use them. So lengthen up through the back, relax the shoulders, relax the jaw. Pick a spot on the floor or even close your eyes. And remember, everything I say in today's session is just a suggestion. The real expert in your body, your experience, is you. So bring your awareness to the natural rise and fall of the breath. And when we breathe in yoga, we want it to be really light. Imagine a smile, a sweet breath. There's no force. Bring your awareness to your belly. And as you're breathing in, you're letting that belly soften, letting it naturally expand. And as you're breathing out, you're letting the belly naturally fall. Lovely. With the pranayama we're going to do today is a breath hold. So what's really important here is that we don't force the breath. So I want you to breathe in a natural in-breath. And when you get to the top of your in-breath, hold your breath. And this is the important bit, for as long as is comfortable. So it's not for as long as you physically can. We're not learning how to deep sea dive. As soon as you want to breathe out, breathe out. So breathe in, top of the in-breath, hold. Breathe out. In. Top of the in-breath, hold. And then breathe out. And I'm deliberately not giving you any numbers here because I just want you to feel in your own body what feels good. I think the most common mistake that people make with the breathing exercises in yoga is that they just try too hard. I think because maybe people have done like asthma tests or maybe they've smoked in the past. So they think that breaths need to be quite like, but actually we want them to stay relaxed. We do have some breathing exercises in yoga where we do more controlled breaths, where we might hold them for a little bit longer for building stamina, but this isn't one of them. And what you might find as you do this is that you're naturally able to hold it a little bit longer each time. And that's brilliant. But it's not something we're forcing. letting go of grasping on to needing to achieve anything. Let yourself just experience this. One more. Then come back to your natural breathing rhythm. Open the eyes. I'm going to do some shoulder shrugs. So I want you to bring your shoulders up towards the ears and then slide them down. Lovely. Bring the shoulders up towards the ears and then slide them down. One more. Bring the shoulders up towards the ears and slide them down. Lovely. Imagine someone's put a coat hanger in the back of your t-shirt, and then you're just going to let your head nod down, but you're not rounded in the upper back. You've still got that t-shirt lifting you up, and then nod your head back to the center. Let's do that in time with the breath. So you're breathing out as you're nodding down, breathing in as you're coming back to look straight forward. One more. Lovely. And then you're going to bring both of your arms out in front. Have your palms facing each other. And you're going to bring one arm underneath the other arm so your elbows are crossed. Now you're going to bend your elbows here, and maybe your hands come down to your shoulders. But don't worry if they don't. Everyone's got different length arms. And then we're going to go from side to side here. We're just going to really relax those shoulders, letting that stretch in your upper back happen. Release the arms and then bring your other arm on top. Bend your arms, take a hold of the shoulders, and just go from side to side. Lovely. And then we're going to make our way to our hands and knees. So you're going to bring your hands so they're directly under your shoulders, knees so they're directly under your hips. We've done this quite a lot in the class. Make sure the tops of the feet are making contact with the mat. If you do need to tuck the toes under, obviously that's fine. Some people find it comfortable to put a blanket under their feet or under their knees. And then we're going to do some cat-cows, which we've done a couple of times in the course already. So as you're breathing out, I want you to round in your back, starting from your tailbone, going one vertebrae at a time, and then let the back of the head release. And then as you're breathing in, we're going to ripple ourselves through into a cow pose. Let's go between the two. Breathing out, rippling through into a cat stretch. Breathing in, rippling through to a cow stretch. Let's do one more. Breathe out, round into a cat stretch. Breathe in, and we're coming to a cow stretch. Let's come to a flat back. Bring your big toes together, widen your knees, send your bum all the way back towards the heels, walk the hands forward, and let the forehead come down towards the floor. Let's take some big, slow, deep breaths here. And then let's come all the way back up to our hands and knees. So we're going to do a stretch along the side of the waist here. It's called thread the needle. So I'm trying to decide which way around it's best to see us. Let's do this way. So you're going to take your right hand and you're going to place it onto your right hip. And I want you to roll that shoulder down and back. Now, when you do this, try not to lean too far onto one side. You want to keep your hips squared if you can. And then, if it feels nice, you're going to lift that arm up. And then we are going to take this arm and I want you to thread it through. So as you thread it through, you're going to let yourself come down towards the floor and you're going to thread all the way through until your head comes down. Now, what I want you to have here is space between your head and your shoulder. And then we're going to come back up. So we're going to do this in a dynamic way. So what I mean by that is we're not going to stop. So you're going to breathe out as you come through, breathing in to come back up, breathing out as you come through, breathe in as you come back up. Let's do one more. Breathe out as you come through. Breathe in as you come back up, and then we're going to make our way back into that child's pose, sending the bum back towards the heels. And let's have a couple of breaths here. Let's come back up to hands and knees, where we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So you're going to reach your left hand onto your hip, open up in the chest, stay there if it feels nice, or reach that arm into the air. And as you're breathing out, you're going to thread it through. Breathe in, reach up. Breathe out, thread it through. So you're not actually putting your head all the way down onto the floor. Breathing out, thread it through. One more. Breathe in, reach up. Breathe out, thread it through. Lovely. Let's come back up to hands and knees. And we're just going to give our knees a little rest by coming to a cross-legged position. You're going to reach up with your right arm, bend your right arm, take the hands between the shoulder blades, and then take your left hand and place it onto the elbow. I want to take some big deep breaths here. And then swap sides. So bring your other arm up, bend the arm at the elbow, take the hand onto the elbow, and take some big deep breaths into the sides of the waist and the chest. And release. We're going to make our way back to hands and knees. And we're going to take our right leg and you're going to extend it straight back. Keep the toe on the floor and try and keep your hips in line with the floor. So what tends to happen here is we kind of open up in the hips, but see if you can keep your bum in a straight line. And one way to check that is just have a little look at your supporting knee and make sure your hip is in line with your knee and you haven't leaned over to one side. And then you're going to take your opposite hand and you're going to extend your opposite hand forward. Lovely. This is going to start to turn on those tummy muscles already. Or you might want to lift the foot off the floor. Lovely. Wobbles are good. And then bring that hand and leg down. Let's go back to child's pose. I'm just going to give me mouse a wiggle so it doesn't go into standby mode. And then we're going to come back up to hands and knees. And you're going to take your left leg and bring your left leg straight back. Let's just check we're in the middle there. Make sure that your hip is in line with your supporting knee. And then you're going to reach your opposite arm forward. Stay there if that feels nice, or float the foot on the floor off the floor so it comes in line with the bum. And what you want here is not to go into the lower back. It's all going from the bum, not the back. And then bring that hand and leg down. We're going to make our way all the way up to standing, taking as many movements as you need. Let's give ourselves a little wiggle from side to side. Just let go. Anything you've been holding on to today. Letting yourself start again in this moment. And then you're going to bring your feet wide. And we're going to turn the right foot, so the right foot is coming in line with the short end of the mat. You're going to turn your left foot ever so slightly in. Let's bend into that front knee just until it's in line with the heel. Give your shoulders a little wiggle and bring your arms parallel with the floor. We're at warrior two again. So as you're breathing in, I want you to reach that front arm up towards the sky. And as you're breathing out, you're going to come back to your warrior two. Breathe in, reach that front arm up towards the sky. Breathe out, warrior two. One more. Breathe in, reach that front arm up towards the sky. Breathe out, warrior two. Let's turn the feet to face the front. We're going to do a forward fold in between. So you're going to take your hands onto your hips. Breathe in as you look up towards the ceiling. And breathe out as you hinge forward from your hips. Lovely. You might want to come halfway, maybe place your hands on the wall or the mantelpiece. Or you might want to come all the way into a forward fold, bringing the hands down towards the floor. So those feet are slightly turned in, and you don't want to bring all your weight to the front or the back of your feet. See if you can get it right in the middle. Let the back of the head release. And then bend the legs and hinge yourself all the way back up. Let's turn that left foot to face the short end of the mat. Bend into your front knee. Let's bring the arms parallel with the floor. Relax the shoulders down. And then as you're breathing in, you're going to reach that front arm up. And as you're breathing out, you're going back to your warrior two. Let's just go at your own pace there. Breathe in, straighten out that front arm. Breathe out, warrior two. Lovely. Let's give me one more. And then straighten out that leg. Let's bring the legs to the front. Give yourself a little wiggle. And then we're going to turn the feet into that warrior one again. We're going to do something called a side angle pose. So for this, it's very similar to what we did with triangle last week, where you're keeping both sides of the waist lovely and long. And then you're going to reach forward with that front arm, but you're keeping this front leg bent. And then bring the forearm down towards the thigh. Now, as you bring that down, what tends to happen is you want to dump all your weight into it, but keep lots of space through both sides of the waist and only have that elbow there for balance. And then you're going to reach your other arm up towards the sky, then turn the palm to the short end of the mat and reach it across. Lovely. Now what's going to be happening is you're going to want to start putting that weight into the arm, but don't do that. Let's keep the weight in the legs and the abs. And then come all the way back up. Lovely. Turn the feet to face forward. Give yourself a little wiggle. And we're going to do the same on the other side. So you're going to turn your other foot into your warrior two. Bend that front knee. And as always, we're not putting the weight all in the front leg. You want to keep the weight equally between both feet. And then you're going to lengthen through both sides of the waist. Bring that forearm down. Don't put any weight into the arm. And reach the top arm up towards the sky. And then you're going to reach across. Big deep breath into the side of the waist. And then come all the way up. Let's turn the feet to face the long end of the mat. Turn your toes ever so slightly in. And we're going to do that wide-legged forward fold again. So you're going to have your hands on your hips. Feel free to put your hands onto the wall or the mantelpiece or whatever you've got. Or we're going to go down to the floor. So you're going to take a big deep breath in and then hinge forward. So like we did when we're doing a normal forward fold, imagine that there's a little rope around your hips. And as you're hinging forward, you're also lifting up through the rope. And then maybe the hands come down towards the floor, but don't worry about it if they don't. You can always have the hands behind the legs. And then let the back of the head release. Let's bend those legs as we come all the way back up. Lovely. We're going to finish with a balance. Before coming down to the floor, we've got stuff to do on the floor as well. We're going to take the right foot. You're going to lift your right heel up. So we've done this a couple of times in the course already. Let your knee come out to the side. And you're very, very welcome to stay there. You're going to pick up the foot, bring it to just above the ankle or to just above the knee. Let's reach both of the arms up into the air. Then you can be a tall tree or you can be a wide tree. I really don't mind. It doesn't make any difference. And then bring the hands down. Bring that leg down. Give yourself a little wiggle. Let's do the same on the other side. Lift up the heel. Let the knee come out to the side. Pick up your foot, bring it to just above the ankle or just above the knee. And then reach both of your arms up into the air. Don't worry if you wobble. Yoga's not about being able to stand on one leg. It's about how nice you are to yourself when you fall out of balance. And then bring the arms down, bring the leg down, and let's come all the way down onto the mat. Bring your legs out in front and give yourself a little wiggle. Now, of course, you might want to put your bum on a brick or a block there. Just walk your bum backwards so you're sitting right up on your sitting bones. And then we're just going to take the hands behind the back and use that as support to lengthen up through the back. I just want you to give your legs a little wiggle. Then we're going to bring one of our legs in. So it's exactly like the pose we just did, but we're sitting down rather than standing up. So the inside of the foot's on the inside of the thigh. And you can stay lengthened up like this. Or you might want to walk your hands forward. Or maybe even hinge forward over that front leg. Letting the back of the head release. Big deep breath. Now, often when you're new to doing this pose, what happens is you want to kind of come down and you round in your back like this, but don't do that. Lift it up so you've got a straight back. And then exactly like when we were doing the forward folds when I was standing up, imagine there's a rope around your hips that you're trying to come up and over. And then come all the way back up. Extend the leg. Let's swap sides. So as always, we're not forcing ourselves. It really doesn't matter how far we go. Relax from side to side. Yoga is about consistency and about kindness. So don't feel like you have to be doing amazing, crazy poses all the time. We just need to be turning up. And over time, we will get better at the poses and hinge forward. Relax the shoulders down, take some big deep breaths. And then come all the way back up. Let's extend both the legs, give them a wiggle, and we're going to come to lie on our backs and windscreen wiper the knees from side to side, just giving your lower back a little massage. We're going to make our way into our relaxation position. So you decide where you want to do that. If you want to do a classical Shavasana lying on your back, or if you would prefer to sit up, or if you want to lie in constructive rest with your legs bent and your feet flat on the floor. Just take a couple of moments to get yourself comfortable. Relax the face. I want you to imagine yourself lying on the ground in the grass on a beautiful summer's day in your favorite place to relax in. Imagine yourself lying under a tree, and when you look up, you can see all the leaves of the tree and the sunshine shining through the leaves, giving you green glow. Just imagine the different shapes and sizes and patterns of the leaves. And imagine this green glow surrounding your body with a feeling of peace and contentment, letting go of any shoulds, letting go of any pressure you've been putting on yourself, letting go of any ways you've been trying to fit the world to your will, letting go of anyone you've been clinging on to, and just loosening that grip. Give yourself a moment where you don't have to think, feel, do, or be anything in particular, and exist exactly as you are. And think of something that you can do today to nourish yourself. And take the biggest breath you've taken all day. Then take an even bigger one. Start to wiggle your fingers and toes. And when you're ready, come up to a seated position whenever you're ready. And rub your hands together. And when you've got some warmth there, place that over your face, run over the back of your neck, and let that go with you for the rest of the day. So thank you so much for joining me in this course. If you enjoyed it and you want to do some more, I have got a membership where I have 3 live classes a week, and there's hundreds of classes in the on-demand library as well. Or you can just hang out on YouTube and I'll see you here. Do let me know if you did the class. I always like to hear from you. Bye everyone.